Bert spent 14 successful years in England, during which he convinced Nurse Morgan to marry him. After fathering 3 lovely girls, Althea, Dorel, and Denise, he again convinced Edna that 4 was better than 3, especially when the 4th would be a boy who would carry on the Cooper's line. In between all this, he qualified as a cost and management accountant. Ladies and gentlemen, I had the extremely good fortune of meeting the Coopers in their return to Jamaica. We lived in the same neighborhood, a few chains away. We exchanged greetings regularly, and then eventually we sat down at Bert's home, where we ate, we drank homemade drinks made by Edna. And we talked about everything under the sun. British Labour Party politics, Jamaican politics, returning residents, and you name it, we talked about it. It's strange that when Bert came back to Jamaica, he didn't get connected to the Labour Party. He didn't get connected to the Labour Party. We talked so much Labour politics that one thought that he would just automatically drift to the Labour Party. Edna and those beautiful children were always there in the home, backing up Bert, taking on the food and these homemade drinks. She kept herself very busy doing that. I liked the way Bert treated his family. I liked the way he talked to his children. I liked the relationship that I saw there, which to a large extent influenced some of my relationships with my children and my wife, my rib. Up to when I met Bert, she was my rib, because I thought, like we heard earlier on, that she came from me, and as such, she should obey me, do what I say, speak when I tell her to speak. But when I saw how Bert and Edna related, I changed course. Ladies and gentlemen, this visit to Bert was the first of many, many visits, many, many more visits. And we gradually developed a very cordial relationship, and there was mutual respect. And the two families got together. Essene has a son and a daughter. They lived at my house. And Althea played a number of instruments, musical instruments. And one day, my wife's son came to me and said he wanted to go and start music. Little did I realize that it wasn't so much music, but the girls. Yes, they will remember. Yes. But those two families became very close, very close. And like I said, the children played a great part in that relationship. Bert is a born leader. I think that Bert is very unhappy when he's not planning, delegating, and implementing some project. He's very unhappy, very uneasy. In Donmare, he showed us how to plan, maintain a garden. This was his first major contribution to that community. He equipped, financed, and managed a team of gardeners. And ladies and gentlemen, the price was affordable and the quality of the work was excellent. And in about 6 months, that little hamlet in which we lived was envied by most of the persons who visited us. Bert Cooper. I don't know if Bert has got back a cent from that investment yet, but this wouldn't be the first investment in which he didn't get back his money. Bert, do you recall Mr. Wallace?
Yes, everybody's an associate.
Yeah, yes. My next encounter with Bert was with Kiwanis. Bert sat me down and brainwashed me about the wisdom of service, the usefulness of service, the virtues of service, and the privileges of membership in a service club. And when he was finished with me, he handed me an application form and I signed. I didn't read a word in it. I signed. But I am glad I signed because that was a step forward that I have never regretted. 1977, 76 that was, 77, I took over from Bert as secretary of the club. Stayed with it for 2 years, and ladies and gentlemen, I gave it up in disgust because I was never able to maintain the standards that he set. (1978), 1 year later, we joined forces at Caribbean Development Jamaica Limited and West Indies and Caribbean Development Limited, an outfit which later became D. Henderson Group of Companies Limited under the control and management of Bert. We stayed together until 1989, when I left ostensibly for greener pastures. Ladies and gentlemen, believe me, when I went over there, the grass was brown. I must say, those 11 years were the most satisfying and productive years in my professional life. Bert's leadership was simply superb. It was principled leadership. He had one set of rules for everybody. I tell you, when I went there, I went as a, would you say, senior person. And one weekend I wanted to go off to the United States. A friend of mine was christening his baby. The christening was going to be on Sunday, and I went to Bert on Friday and said to him, I'll be off for the weekend. I go up Friday during the day, come back Monday, so I'll come into work Tuesday. And he said to me, have a good trip. Did you sign the leave form? That was the first time in my life that I was being told, like I was told, to sign a leave application form for 2 days. Because where I was from, you know, big man, you're going off, I won't be here for the weekend. And not a smile on his face, he said, did you sign the leave application form? So I looked at him and then just went back to my desk and signed the damn form and took it out. Bert led from the front. Energetic, committed, dedicated. He was constantly challenging his employees to raise the performance bar. I found him a very organized and professional leader. He preached the gospel of management by objectives. Won't go into that because Fred will tell me it will take a day. He created a climate of the workplace in which employees found it easy to give of their best. He was a motivator.